Now, in the past, such disputes have hurt the flow of goods between Russia and the Ukraine, from chocolates to meats to dairy products. Economists in Russia say this will be damaging to both economies. The World Bank says Russia could be headed into a recession. Natalie Feary has more from Moscow.
Many products like the ones in this Moscow market, meat, dairy produce and vegetables, are imported from Ukraine. Last year, Ukraine's exports to Russia totaled over $16 billion, and Ukraine is Russia's fourth largest export destination.
I don't think Ukraine can afford curtailing trade or other economic ties with Russia at this moment, even given the enthusiasm among the EU countries.
But there are already signs that the standoff between Russia and Ukraine could lead to a fresh trade war. Russia has already raised the price at which it exports gas to Ukraine, previously offered at a discount, set to have a major impact given that Ukraine relies on Russia for 40% of its energy needs. But imports into Russia from Ukraine are also being impacted. Among the products affected are grain supplies, which are used for animal feed.
Ukraine is a large producer of grain, and although things may have influence on grain prices, so grain prices will grow up, and it will have a negative influence on poultry and pork producers because feed will grow up.
Meat, dairy and chocolate imports have all been blocked in the past, and many Ukrainian goods were stopped from entering Russia last year when Kiev was set to sign a free trade agreement with the European Union, the very same agreement it eventually signed last week. So economists do not rule out Russia closing its borders to Ukrainian imports in the future.
Russia can do anything. There are no guarantees. Everything is possible. That depends on how sensitive Russia is to this move or that move from Ukraine.
The result would be higher costs for consumers. But there are even bigger concerns about Russia's already fragile economy.
The most important factor for Russia's economy is the uncertainty that there's already been increased price of borrowing for Russian banks and more sanctions.
Even if the West does not slap trade sanctions on Russia, the World Bank has warned the crisis in Ukraine could tip Russia into a recession this year. And with capital outflows set to be more than double what they were in 2013, the costs of Crimea may mount up. Natalie Feary, CCTV, Moscow.